What is happening, and welcome to another Photography Talk episode 179. And friends, we're going to need to get ready for a new episode of Photography Talk that features nothing but brand new and exciting gear. Now, first up, we're going to take a quick look at the new Canon PowerShot V10, which I think we all can agree is an unusual camera, but at the end of the day, this thing is full of features that are going to be relevant to content creators, or what they're going to be interested in having, rather. Then we're going to shift gears and examine the new Nikon Z8, which, if you haven't heard, has a ton of high-end features from the Z9 underneath its hood. We'll finish up the discussion of Hobolight, a new brand that is making waves for its high-quality, easy-to-use, ultra-compact lighting for photography and videography, and I happen to have some of these lights in my studio at this very moment, so you're going to get to see these up close and personal. Now, speaking of getting up and close and personal, I have a favor to ask. See, you guys have been absolutely crushing it lately with the liking, sharing my videos, and subscribing to the channel. I can't thank you enough for doing so. It's really a small thing, but it is so helpful to getting my videos in front of a larger audience. For that, friends, I'm eternally grateful. So if you don't mind, take a moment, keep that mojo going, and hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. We are on our way to 1 billion subscribers thanks to you guys. Well, maybe not 1 billion, but hey, growth is growth, right? Either way, thank you guys so much. Now, let's get on to this week's headlines. Now, in last week's Photography Talk episode, we quickly discussed an upcoming vlogging camera from Canon, and not really at the time was much known about this thing, but now the camera has officially been out, so we have all the full specs, the features to discuss about. Now, this thing is called the Canon PowerShot V10, and as expected, well, it is a vertical format camera built for content creators. Now, this will actually be the first in a brand new line of consumer video cameras that specialize in live streaming and vlogging. And as Canon says, this camera is going to offer much more quality and versatility than our smartphones, yet extremely easy to use since it has a fixed camera, or since it's a fixed lens camera rather. Now, on top of that, the V10 has a ultra compact design. It's user-friendly controls and capable of recording 4K UHD videos at up to 30p, or 30 frames per second rather. And full HD video is available up to 60 frames per second. Now, as I mentioned, the camera has a fixed lens, which is equivalent to a focal length of 19 millimeters. Now, combine that with the 2.8 aperture, it's an ideal setup for taking selfies and recording videos of yourself. And since this camera is squarely aimed at beginners, it has a 20.9 megapixel Type 1 sensor that's capable of 15.2 megapixel still images and 13.1 megapixel video. Now, there's really no option at this point for raw images, so you're only going to get 8-bit files. Now, other features include a 2-inch touchscreen, various autofocus mode, face tracking, and there's also digital image stabilization and auto leveling function for video recording in a 3x digital video. But this little camera is pretty interesting because when you look at it, if you're talking to yourself on this thing, you have the screen right in the back, so as where your eye contact is, and you could be looking at yourself, making sure you're framed up and so forth, and it's going to look as if you're looking at the lens. On top of that, there's actually, surprisingly, with this camera being relatively, well, there's no relatively new about it. This camera being brand new, there's actually already a starting ecosystem of additional accessories that you can get for this, including a smart rig or a sport rig cage for it, which now you're going to be able to attach all your mics and all the other goodies on top of that thing as well. And since this camera is a beginner camera, it has a beginner-friendly price of $430. Now, you can pick up one of these things, and what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description below. These cameras aren't going to be available till June, but they're taking pre-orders as we speak right now. But again, I'll put a link in the description, and yeah, off you go. At long last, Nikon finally unveiled the Z8. So if you haven't heard, the Z8 is basically a Z9 wrapped up in a more compact body. And that means you get top of the line features in a smaller, lighter camera that is easy to handle. I mean, heck, what's not to like about that? Now, since this camera was announced, some folks have criticized the Z8 as not having anything new or exciting, and I'm going to look at it from a different perspective, from another angle here. The Z9 is an absolute beast of a camera, and now you can essentially get the same camera for way less money in a Z8 body. Now the Z8 has the same 45.7 megapixel sensor from the Z9, and it can record 8K video at 60p. You get the Z8 also has the XSpeed 7 image processor that results in excellent image quality and superb low light performance. And on the back side of this thing, you have a 3.2-inch touchscreen, and on top you have the autofocus joystick that everybody loves from the Z9. So again, this thing is a Z9 that's wrapped up in a much smaller body. Now the Z8 is 5.7 by 4.7 by 3.3 inches, weighs about 2 pounds. And by comparison, when you look at the Z9, this thing is 5.9 by 3.6, and it's roughly about a ½ pound heavier. So again, smaller package. Now, if you're looking at the Z8 for the first time, one of those other big significant differences that you're gonna notice here is that the Z8 doesn't have the vertical battery grip that the Z9 has. Now, the Z8 also uses smaller batteries, so you don't get as many shots on a single charge as you do with the Z9. But at the end of the day, that is a small sacrifice to have a smaller, lighter, and essentially the same functionalities that you get with the Z9. Now the Z8 is on pre-order for $4,000, so if you want to get in line for one of these things, I'm going to put a link in the description below as well. Now rumor has it there is only 12,000 of these suckers have been made for the first month. So I'm going to guess that this is going to be in high demand, so if you are on the fence about getting one of these things, you're probably going to want to get your order in sooner than later and try to avoid some of those long waits to get one of these things. Let's keep the theme of hot new gear going and discuss Hobolight. Now, if you aren't familiar with Hobolight, this is a relatively new company, and though their lights have been out for a little while, well, I'm new to using them. Now, there are 3 lights in their inventory. You have the Mini, you have the Avant, and you have the Pro. Now, I have, as you can see, the Mini and the Avant, and I have to say, I am absolutely impressed with these things. And what's so nice about these lights is that you can tailor your kit to your specific needs. So standard kits, for example, come with a variety of accessories like the barn doors, diffusers, gels. And if you need more goodies, they have a creator kit that adds more gear like cold shoe adapters. You have ball head and a desktop tripod for the Mini. And you get all that plus a softbox and a full-size tripod with the Avant creator kit as well. Now, for example, I'm gonna put this right here for now. This is the creator. I have the creator kit for both of these here. So first off, here is the Mini, and as you can see, I mean, the build quality, I mean, it really looks beautiful. Now, the case that it comes in, I mean, it's a heavy-duty case. It's really well constructed, and as you can see, everything is, here's your tripod. It feels really heavy, and like there's some weight behind it. Here are your various different mounts. You have your barn door here with the variety of different tints that go on to this as well. So again, this is really, and then of course all your charging tidbits underneath there. This is a really well-equipped, thought-out kit that they've put together. Now, let me get this. Everything tucks in there nice as well. All right, let's bring in the Avant case. So as you can see, you have the same durable case as you saw with the Mini there. This was actually in the bag. You have your charging. You have one of your stands there, or connectors rather. Another clamp deal down here. Again, everything is very solid and feels really fantastic. You have the barn doors right here, which again, these are really well constructed, and I absolutely love how, let's see, yeah, the gels are on the other, but the gels kind of sit right into the front here. There's a little bit of a magnetic hold that keeps them in place. These are really, this company did a great job with all their components here. So at any rate, and on the, move that out of the way, so you can get a sense of the craftsmanship on this here. These look absolutely stunning. Now, Hobolights also offer the convenience of extreme customization. For example, you can adjust, now here's the Mini right here, you can adjust the light's focus from spot to flood, actually just by twisting this little ring on the front here. Now you can also adjust its color, temperature, brightness, and lux as well. Now these lights are super easy to set up and compact as well, making them a really good option for photographers that are on the go, or actually videographers and photographers that are on the go. Now the Mini, if you haven't noticed here, is super small. This is 2.56 by 3.25 by 4.1 inches and weighs just over a pound. Now the Avant here, this is obviously slightly larger, but still very manageable at 3.25 or 3.29 inches by 4.63 by 4.91 inches, and just a little bit heavier at 2.76 pounds. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I recently started using the lights in the studio and in the field when I'm out on my adventures, and they have absolutely been fantastic. I really love the ease of use with these things, the adjustability, and let's face it, the build quality is really well. And these lights are absolutely beautiful. Not that the looks are extremely important, but hey, it doesn't hurt. Now, the Hobolight Mini starts at $299, and the Avant starts at $649, and the Pro version starts at $1,899. Now, what I will do with this as well is I'm going to put links in the description in case you want to learn more about these lights or pick yourself up one as well. All right, friends, and that is it. Let's wrap up today's video and discuss our current giveaway. We have 3 excellent prizes up for the grab this month. We have a Holdfast Gear Remographer bag, we have a Hex Ranger sling, and of course we have the $100 Amazon gift card. Now, as always, friends, we make it super easy for you to participate. So step 1, you gotta like this video, subscribe to the channel. Step 2, leave a comment below. In fact, the more of our videos that you watch and leave a comment on, the more chances that you have to win. So by all means, get watching some of the videos and leave some comments. Step 3, register on PhotographyTalk and introduce yourself in the forum. Now, if you happen to register on the site during one of the last giveaways, you're still eligible to win, but as I keep saying over and over again, swing and by, say hello. We would love to see it, and that is it. Now, for complete details on the giveaway, including how to register on PhotographyTalk or how to say hello in the forum, check out the description below. Good luck, and one last thing, if you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to head over to PhotographyTalk, sign up for an account. It's free to do so, and it's going to give you access to literally thousands of photography-related articles on the site, including articles on new camera gear, photography tutorials, and much, much more. So take a moment, sign up for an account, and get access to material that will help you take your best shot. All right, friends, and that is it for this Photography Talk episode. As always, I appreciate you tuning in. YouTube, there's a lot of things that can be taking your attention right now, and the fact that you've given me a few minutes of your time, I really appreciate it. And speaking of appreciation, if you don't mind, consider hitting that like button, subscribe, and so therefore you don't miss a single video that we come out. Make sure you hit the bell down below for all notifications so we get to see each other again. But that said, friends, I'm going to be shutting out these cameras, so you get out there, stay healthy, and take your best shot. Starts at $299.